It's pretty exciting today because usually my guest is someone who I've known for a long time. That's impossible today because my guest has only been alive for a couple of years. Well, maybe more than a couple of years. This is Jamie Mayers, who is all of, how old are you?
20.
20 years old, my God, he's just a wee little one.
Chicken.
I'm an old man. And welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
In your 20 years, you've accomplished quite a bit so far. You've been in LARPs, which is kind of like the, almost the glue that holds the whole Bean Duck family together. You're in Venus as well, which is it was a feature film.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
My first feature film. Yeah, 2016, 17.
Okay, well we'll get into that story as well. Sure. Game On as well, which was a TV series, and you do voices for video games.
I do, yes.
Yeah. So tell me some of the video games you voiced.
So I did 2 Assassin's Creed installments. So the third one and then Origins.
Origins! I mean, that was a huge title.
That was a really big one. But they come out like hotcakes now.
That's right.
So, they're on like Odyssey now or something.
So are you a gamer?
Yeah.
It must be so interesting for you to play and hear your own voice.
It was really weird, particularly Assassin's Creed, because I feel like my age is going to come up quite a bit in this interview the more I think about it. But like I was like 11 years old or 12 years old when I did that at the third one, and I was like a big fan of the series
before that.
But it's funny because I was so young that my mom didn't even let me play. So I was watching, like playthroughs online and everything, and I was just a big fan, and I would talk about it with my friends all the time. And when I was a lot younger, I actually tried to start a YouTube channel, which it no longer exists. I made sure I burnt it to the ground.
Oh, we gotta find this.
It's not anywhere. Don't look for it. I'm not gonna. But it's really funny because a few weeks before I auditioned for it, I made a whole video about Assassin's Creed 3, how exciting it was, new installment and everything. And then a few weeks later, I was in it.
Did you do voice only or also motion capture?
And motion capture.
Really?
It was like out of a dream for me. It was the coolest thing in the whole world. They asked me to do flips. I don't know how to do flips. But they asked me to do all these kinds of fights and stunts, and I was like, it's cool. And
you play it now, and you get to play your character.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long game, so I can't just go back and. But Origins was crazy. That was the first time that I was. How long ago was Origins? It's like 2017.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was 18 years old, so I appreciated how big it was. When I was 11, 12, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I could talk about it with my friends. But yes.
Hail to the king, says Irvana.
Hail to me, thank you.
So let's talk about the king, okay? Yeah. So we'll get back to video games, but in LARPs,
yes.
You play Sam and the evil king. Because, yes. So for the uninitiated, explain LARPs.
LARPs is so many things to me, but LARPs is a show about a bunch of friends who love to LARP, and my role in that is I am the annoying little brother, Sam, of one of the LARPers, and Sam always wants to join in on the game, but he's too young, and they won't let him until the season finale of season 1.
Well, let's see a clip. I believe we have a great clip that I was just watching before, where we really get a sense of how awesome Sam is. Can we hail this king? Are we all queued up? All right, let's hail to the king. Here is the wonderful Sam, Jamie Mayers.
It's okay. It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
Jamie Mayers in LARPs.
I see Fosaluk delivered my message. I knew you'd show up here if it meant you could restore that thing.
Why are we listening to a child? Go away, we've important business.
Hand it over. I've been chasing this thing too long to make deals.
What would you do with it?
The 11th eye is useless right now, and only Carell or Elowin can enact the ritual to fix it.
I'm sure I'll find someone who could figure it out. Why am I even talking to criminals? Okay, look. I'll make you a deal. Your champion versus mine. If you win, I'll leave you alone. If you lose, I get the 11th eye. And all of you as my prisoners. Deal?
Done.
Excuse me, Your Majesty. None of us can beat Evan reliably one-on-one.
I gotta do this, Arthur. I gotta show him.
Good luck, Astra.
Do we have a deal?
Deal.
Fantastic.
Oh boy.
So when you look at that, you were how old when you shot that?
That must have been, I think I was 15, looked like. I don't know how old I looked. Probably 15 or 16. 15.
So what kind of memories does it, what are you thinking when you're watching clips of LARPs?
It was just like the most fun I've had, doing anything. I've always loved, and I still do, the Beanduck family.
Right.
They're right here. I hate them so much.
I know, me too. They're so annoying.
And they're so great, and they, I'm not just saying this because they're here,
What a baller, says Biff the Boss.
Thank you so much. Yes, I know. But I've always tried to sort of take a page out of their book, growing up as a young actor and performer, and someone who wants to pursue a career in this. They're so innovative, and they're just such a great harmony that went on during LARPs that I was really happy to be a part of. So it's a lot of fun. We shot it up north.
You guys didn't shoot, because here in Montreal, they actually, this is based on people LARPing on the mountain, but you guys didn't shoot any of it?
No, some, I can only speak to what I was a part of. So there was quite a bit in Montreal, like normal non-LARP things, and then there were 2 or 3 weekends or something like that up north.
How intense was the shooting? Like, did they work you to the bone, or did you have a lot of time off to, drink and get rowdy as a 15-year-old?
Yeah, as an illegal.
By the way, Ravenna says, squinty eye, be nice, or no poutine for you.
Yeah, they're cracking the whip behind me. It's, I know it's cliched, but it's, do the thing you love and it doesn't feel like work or anything, So they were pretty long days. It was early in the morning until pretty late at night, but it went by. I was sad when it ended.
Do you have, are there similarities between you and your character? Like, did you draw from personal experience to be that bratty?
I've been really lucky so far in my life to be cast in roles that aren't too far of a stretch.
Right.
For me. I'd like to think I'm not that annoying. But for the most part, I think especially when you're a kid being cast in roles, I guess it's not entirely true, but I've been very lucky to just sort of show up and not have to really do much homework,
There's a lot of laughter going on back here from the producers of LARPs.
I didn't do the homework. So Julian asked me 5 or 6 times, probably more. Very simply, just watch Game of Thrones. Like, watch King Joffrey.
Right, I was about to ask about that.
I still
comparison.
haven't done it.
No?
I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Me neither. By the way, season 2, and I'm still like,
No, my mom watched the whole thing in 4 weeks or something, and she's like, you have to watch it. And I'll do it at some point. I didn't do it when Julian asked me to, and she doesn't let me forget about it.
But was that character actually somewhat inspired by or based on King Joffrey? Your experience aside, maybe I should ask Julian. Hey, Julian, why don't you come sit here and tell me about... No, but I'm curious. Was Game of Thrones a reference for you guys? Maybe not you, but...
it was supposed to be. He really did ask me to do it.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah, I lied. I lied right to Julian's face. I'm not a liar, though. It was an instance. I do prefer Breaking Bad.
That says John Verrill.
Breaking Bad is my
Greatest show on TV.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I was about to say Breaking Bad was my magnum opus, but that's not.
No, it wouldn't be your magnum
No,
opus.
I didn't create it.
Wouldn't even be your
Vince Gilligan is.
Wouldn't even be your magnum PI, for what it's worth. Yeah? You don't even know that
I know.
reference.
I get the reference. Tom Selleck, right?
Tom Selleck, yeah. And by the way, did you guys know that Burt Reynolds' stuff is being auctioned off this weekend? There's like a huge. You could buy a piece of Burt Reynolds' like his Trans Am or his clothes or. Yeah, Burt Reynolds, you don't even know who he is. He had a mustache, just like he and Tom Selleck
like
were
me.
like the mustache brothers of the '70s. Yeah.
Yeah, Breaking Bad was my. So I watched it 4 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of Better Call Saul?
I loved it.
Okay.
It was confusing for me because I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons or whatever was on Netflix, and then it became live again, and they went on a hiatus for like a month or 2, and I sort of got lost. So I know I need to pick it up somewhere. But I thought they did a really good job of like staying in the world that they created with Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Just tonally and everything. Bob Odenkirk is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before, and again, this is before your time.
Yeah.
God, that sounds so weird. But to me, before there was Breaking Bad, there was 6 Feet Under. I don't know if any of our
6
viewers.
Feet Under is, I'm actually so happy you brought it up, is a show that I had to study this year.
Really?
As part of my program training. Wow. We had a very, very intensive script analysis class.
Yeah.
And the first half of the year was film script analysis. So like very intensive character analysis and really figuring out who your character is. And then it was the same thing with TV, but in the spring it became very much like you have a day or 2 to do all of this kind of work,
Oh my God.
So 6 Feet Under was one of the first TV pilots that we were given as homework.
It was just the pilot.
It was, we ended up doing 2 episodes of it. So we got the pilot and then I think like episode 4 of season 1 or something.
Have you watched the whole series since?
I haven't.
Okay.
I've only watched the pilot because our teacher didn't want us watching the show before we did the homework for it, as to not influence our choices and everything like that.
Okay, I want to come right back to that. There's a long quote citation here. So
Yes.
the Emerald 97 says, since you were a teenager when you were filming, did you have to do homework during the filming? If so, who was the worst at helping with homework?
That's a really good question. Yeah, so I did have to, until I was 16 years old, I was required by ACTRA, by the union, to do tutoring on set.
Yeah.
And this actually, when I was doing Game On, that was grade 10 for me, which if you live in Quebec, you know that that's like the big government exam year, really lots of homework and everything. So I was really stressed.
Do you know that the year I was in grade 10,
Yeah.
there was a big scandal because kids stole the government exams and it was circulating everywhere.
Wow.
And we all did really well that year.
Good for you, honestly.
Let's just put it
like,
that way.
Just doesn't matter how you get there, you know?
Exactly,
As long
that's
as you
it.
get there. So
They're going to come and take my diploma away, I think.
you'll be fine.
Right.
I did have to get tutoring, and it was actually the best year of school I ever did. I mean, I'm a good student, but just
And very humble too. Yeah.
yeah, I try. But something about like just being able to work at your own pace and work on the things that you know you need to work on instead of like being force-fed just a constant amount of sitting at a desk, whatever. Who was the worst at teaching me homework? I don't know. Everyone's really sweet. I don't want to be mean to anyone.
Don't shit on anyone.
No, it's a hard job, especially like I imagine there are kids out there who are less interested in schoolwork and who are potentially more difficult than I'd like to think I was. So it's a hard job tutoring on set, and you need to have a lot of patience, and everyone I worked with was really sweet. We
have another comment from Flame Moth. Well, new commenters, I love this. Said, I read somewhere, fans, that you are an Apple fan and watch every live event with a good friend. How did you enjoy this past one? Okay, well that seems a little inside.
Yeah, it's almost like I recognize the name somewhere. Yeah, I'm a huge Apple guy. I didn't wear my Apple Watch tonight because I didn't want it to.
Are those useful though?
Apple Watches?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a phone.
I mean, I feel like I'd have all sorts of cognitive dissonance if I was like, no, but I spent all the money on it. You know?
Right. Okay.
But no, of course it's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice because there are so many emails and just annoying things that you don't need to be pulling out your phone every second for. So it's nice to just look and then move on with your day.
Okay.
I know.
We're gonna go. We're going. I'm going with this. Okay. So you're 20.
I'm 20.
You love Apple.
Love Apple.
Let's talk technology, AI, and the direction of humanity.
Oh, boy.
Are we? Robert Downey Jr. announced this week
I heard
that he's going to save the world.
He's
Iron
Tony
Man is
Stark.
saving us with AI.
He's Tony Stark.
He is Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
But from your perspective,
Yeah.
are we in deep shit, or do you think that actually technology is going to save us? I mean, we're getting deep here,
Yeah,
but
no, I know.
I feel we can do that.
It depends on who's holding the keys to it. You know,
Right.
I like to believe that people like Robert Downey Jr. Their hearts are in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we could be in trouble shortly if the wrong people do the wrong things with it. I think that goes with any kind of new technology, any kind of anything that powerful. At the moment, a lot of my friends sort of like to freak out about it, and they're like, oh, they're going to get so smart, and they're going to take over, and they're going to kill us all.
The singularity.
Yeah, and it's like, at the moment, these things are designed to do one thing.
Right.
And they can get better and better at doing that thing, but it's not like they're going to, like break out and start.
But did you see that
going all
robot
Ultron
riding a
on us.
bike this week? There was that was a big thing, and then robot bats.
Yeah, but they're good at being bats. They're not gonna start taking over the government and holding us ransom for the cures of diseases.
Well, I went to
really
the
good idea.
AI summit that was here in Montreal a couple of weeks back, and then I was at C2,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of talk about AI.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, the keynote speaker was Will.i.am, the singer of Black Eyed Peas, who has his own AI company.
More power to him.
But he is now sitting on the World Economic Forum and specializing in AI, and it's all about bias.
Oh my
So
God.
Bendo Nintendo says, I saw a video of a robot pressing a button on a touchscreen that said press to confirm you were not a robot.
Have you seen the John Mulaney bit where he is like, my life now is going around on the internet proving to robots that I'm not a robot. And he does this amazing bit where it's like he walks into the cavern of the internet and it goes, stay there, prove that you are not a robot. And it's like this whole rhyming thing, and it's like, which one of these is not a stop sign? And it's like,
Yeah.
what's happening here?
Well, that might be our lives. That might
Yeah.
be, maybe the entrance at the pearly gates to get into heaven is, which one of these
Which one of
squares
these?
has a bus in it?
Which one's a street sign?
Right, exactly. But there was this sense that ethics and ethics in AI is a big thing, and
Oh, yeah.
that like it or not, AI is just how we program it, but we have to make sure that we all have biases, and we will infuse that bias into whatever we're doing. So, is that, to your generation? Is this like, are we there? Is it? You were saying that your friends are, and I hate being the guy saying your generation,
No,
kids,
of course.
But is this? How do you guys feel about it? Is it exciting or scary, or both?
My roommate, actually, my good friend, is really, really, really like on it. He's sending me stuff all the time. Like, you have to see this. You have to see what's coming out. What's on. They're right there. They're just about to whatever. So and so and so and so. So I just said so.
So and so and so and so and so.
plethora
Right,
of
exactly.
He's very, very excited about it. I'm sure there are many people like him that think it's like, it's going to be the thing of our generation. I don't really think about it all that much.
You're more interested in LARPing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's a simple
fuck
life.
technology. Let's go.
It's a simple
let's
life
go
I live.
medieval.
Yeah.
Okay, so you live now in New York.
I do, yeah.
Wait, the Emerald 97 says, I hate when there's just a tiny piece of like a sign or a bus, and I'm like, does it count? Yes, I don't know, I know.
They make it hard.
Yeah,
It's a hard test sometimes.
I know. Well, it's important to prove if we're robots
Is it?
or not.
Is it?
Well, I don't even know anymore. All right, enough of the robots. So you're living in New York. You,
I am,
You
yeah.
grew up in Montreal, but now you study, where were you saying?
I study at Pace University.
Okay,
Yeah.
studying acting.
Studying acting.
And in that course, you started to tell me that you guys had to break down, it was a character study of
Yeah.
6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
Has
yeah.
everyone here seen 6 Feet Under? No? Greatest show ever on TV. And you want to see the greatest ending to any, and no
I've
spoilers.
heard. My teacher says that what do you say? He was like, it changed cable television.
Yes, absolutely. And so what was your takeaway from that assignment?
It was a tough assignment because it was the first time that he was asking us to cram as much of the intensive, character work that we had weeks and weeks to do in the fall semester.
And that was of your own characters?
No, so that was we were given scripts, and he would assign a character from the script.
Okay.
And then you need to come up with their whole origin, backstory, and then the scene breakdowns were very specific too. So like sensorily, what's happening right before the scene starts, and who you're with, and what do you need from them, and whatever. And it was very intensive. And then because 6 Feet Under is an hour-long drama, it's very cinematic in nature.
Absolutely.
He asked us to do the same thing, but he assigned it 2 days before it was due instead of having a week and a half to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was great. I was asked to do Nate, which is cool because it's not a character that I think I would ever play.
If you were to play a character in 6 Feet Under, then who would it be?
I don't know. I don't know if there's really a role for me in that. I feel like maybe I'd have a better shot at David, the brother.
What a character! My
Great
God.
character, but it was, all of the assignments were really cool because, at least for a lot of the year, it was very much about just almost academically doing character development. Whether you could see yourself playing this character or not, how do you find your way into the skin of a character, and then as we got towards the end of the year, it became more about your own type and what you bring to a role, and looking for characters that we connect to on a certain level.
Is there a school of acting that you follow? Like, are you more method, or is that even a question anymore? Or are there hybrids that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely what I've been learning is a hybrid. A lot of people call it like a toolbox kind of thing. And it's, something that my acting teacher throughout this year said a lot is like, when you step into a casting room, they don't care if you know Stanislavski or Meisner or Stella Adler or whatever. Just they want to see if you can act, and do it in the most authentic way possible, and if you can tell the story and whatever. So they never sat us down and they're like, today we're learning Meisner. But it's whatever the school of thought is, or the school of acting that I've been learning, it's very big emphasis on script analysis and a very big emphasis on not yourself. Very much on what's happening in front of you.
Take your own experience out, and
it's very much focusing on your scene partner.
Okay.
And it's how are you affecting your scene partner? How are you making them feel? Because at the end of the day, and I'll quote my acting teacher here: people don't pay money to see how actors are feeling. They're paying money to see what actors then do about how they feel.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
We have a comment from the Emerald 97. The toolbox. I heard about the toolbox analogy all the time in my music classes, which is a great segue. I love this. Okay.
I love segs.
Because you are a musician.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your musical experience. Do you play an instrument? Do you sing? What kind of music do you like?
Where to start? I have been singing pretty much my whole life. I started in musical theater. That's where I started, and it'll always be my.
Oh, we have a clip, by the way.
Oh no.
We do have a clip. Should we just run the clip first? Yeah, let's run a clip. Picture in picture. Yeah, this is all Julian. by
I'm
the
being
way.
ambushed.
Yes, this is Julian.
Oh, this is fine.
Was there something
This
that
is
you?
fine.
So what are we watching here?
And cheered all about how's about the only shows now are big dance concerts one fine night. This is from my show choir at St. George's.
Yeah.
And this was from the championship set that we took to Toronto. This was my last year, so 2016.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so much fun, you know?
We'll get to that next.
Yeah, I have the most fun doing it. People ask me if I miss it a lot, like just studying acting, and sure, you know, maybe I don't even know how much I miss it, but I'm really happy to be doing what I'm doing. I feel so lucky.
But it looks like you have the triple threat thing. If you know, like, in other words, if someone wants the triple threat, you're like, okay, well.
I hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that guy. But that was in my last year of show choir. I actually did win like the triple threat award.
Oh, really? Is there a triple threat award?
Apparently.
So that means that you could win an EGOT, right? I mean, you know, is that the ultimate?
One day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I can't believe I just busted out the word EGOT. Look at me. I know things. Yeah.
It's a good word. Like if I had the dream career, you know, it would be so amazing to, you know, like I want to have a career in film and television. You know, I've just always been so intrigued by it, and it's what I grew up doing musical theater, but I feel like I grew up with movies and television as like a close friend, you know?
Okay, interesting.
So that's always been where I've seen my career, but I'd love to, you know, make the move back to the Great White Way one day.
But you were telling me that you also make music. By the way, Iravana says, Jamie, be that guy. We need a musical revival. Iravana is like the most enthusiastic. I want to meet Iravana. Iravana, where do you live? And can you come to Montreal and be my guest on an episode? Wow. I would love to have Iravana come on. This is like one of our greatest commenters. But tell me about music. You play music. You said you were even dabbling in recording. So what, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So. Sing my whole life. I taught myself how to play guitar when I was 15. I have been playing drums since I was about 6 or 7.
I'm a drummer too. Favorite drummer?
I love Travis Barker, Blink-182.
Yeah.
I just think he's such a talented drummer. So fun to watch too. I'm seeing them in September. I'm seeing Blink-182 and Lil Wayne.
Together. Wait a minute, because I saw a clip of them playing together, and it almost looked
they're
like
touring together.
Yeah, but it looked like
They're playing separate sets.
Yeah, but that song, I thought it was a joke.
No, they're touring together.
They don't look like they're into it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay.
I'm happy to see that though.
And did you see that Lil Wayne is? I saw this yesterday on Facebook that the Mayans predicted Lil Wayne. Just do me a favor, Google Mayans predicted Lil Wayne. Actually, can you do that for us right now? Okay. Yes. So Travis Barker.
Love Travis Barker.
He also survived a plane crash.
He did.
I mean,
he did. He's really inspiring guy. Love watching him. So he's probably my favorite drummer.
He actually he auditioned for Slayer a couple of years back when
Really?
Dave Lombardo and he could do it. I mean, he talk about a guy who practices immensely. There you go. The Mayans predicted Lil Wayne. I love that so much.
My goodness. Yeah, he's a machine. I don't know how he does it, but he practices. You're right, every single day.
Yeah.
And I was about to say and he doesn't need to, but that's I guess what separates
the greats.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So he's my favorite drummer. I love Dave Grohl.
Yes. Not only is it a fantastic drummer, I mean, his drumming on Songs for the Deaf is
incredible,
mind-blowing.
Do you ever watch the, like some of the live performances
of
him when he was with Queens of the Stone Age?
Yeah.
It's jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
I could talk about that all day.
Well, maybe we should just do a whole nother live stream.
I'd love to.
About Dave Grohl and his
love
awesome
to.
drumming. And I find I love Queens of the Stone Age, especially early Queens of the Stone Age, and then Songs for the Deaf. And after that, they got this other drummer, and I forget what his name, Castillo, I think was his name. And he always drummed too fast, and especially that song, the is it Songs for the Dead? The one where it's just like and he would just rush it and I'd be like, fuck, no.
It's upsetting.
So, I want Dave Grohl to join them again.
And then Dave Grohl, you know, as
a dude.
as a dude, but as a frontman, you know, inspires me. Because for the longest time, I was just the drummer also, you know? Not that I was ever really in a serious band or anything like that, but I was just a drummer, and now that I'm...
Just a drummer. Hey, buddy, I'm just a drummer.
No, but like, he speaks about that all the time, you know? It's he made me feel so confident about being just a drummer. It's,
right.
The drummer is...
everything.
Is everything, you know? He's the glue, so...
Fuck all y'all, I'm a drummer.
Yeah. But then, you know, he stepped forward, and obviously the Foo Fighters and, you know, little band.
You ever listen to, is it Probot? I think this was a project that he did like with Lemmy from Motorhead. And check out Probot if you have a chance. Really, really good stuff.
I dabble in piano, not much though. But anyways, it's like guitar and drums. And I've tried to record like multi-track stuff with like electric guitar and drums and bass and whatever, and I like how it sounds, but I have no budget, and I do it in my basement and whatever. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll focus all of my effort on trying to make a really good sounding acoustic album. You know, and then maybe one day if I ever get money to do it or whatever, I would, because they're songs that are written to, you know, be played by a band.
Yep.
But I'm doing them acoustically now, and I like how they're sounding. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So plans to release something?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to, like the image I have in my head is like releasing it, just for fun, you know, in the fall, and maybe like playing through all the songs on a rooftop in Brooklyn or something.
Well, I mean, living in New York, that's not so far-fetched.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm lucky to have really great friends in my program, and you know, really amazing people that I've met this year living in New York. So, I would be honored, honestly, to share that. I never thought I would share it with anyone. It was more just fun for me to write music. It was therapeutic, but I think I'm at a point where I have songs. Not so much that I need people's like approval, but it's fun to, you know, I wrote this. What do you think? And
well, you're in luck because we have an acoustic guitar. No, just kidding. Do we? That would have been awesome. The Emerald 97 says, yes, a music stream. 3 and 7s is my favorite Queens. Oh, yeah. Oh, I still think, well, Mexicola. Mexicola's a good song, too. I Want to Make It With You. I don't know if you guys know that song, but that's a fantastic song, too. They used to do the desert sessions where they would just go and take a bunch of acid in the desert and record these albums. And
it's a really funny interview with, what's his name, Josh?
Hami.
And he just looks
so baked.
Blitzed out of his mind. It's funny.
Okay, you know, you talk about music, and you know, it's something that you're passionate about. You talk about acting, and it's something that you're passionate about, and you study acting, and it sounds like it's very intensive studying. And we were talking before, I asked you, are you a fan of movies? And you said, well, you know, of course I'm an actor. And I said, but you know, there's some people who, once it's your job, you're no longer into consuming it.
Sure.
And so I'm wondering, does studying acting for you take away from the movie going or the TV watching experience? Like, I never wanted to study music because I didn't want it to lose that magic.
I had a painting teacher this year for one of my electives that said she really regrets studying painting in college, you know, because it was so academic and it was so black and white, so to speak.
All that regret led her to teach painting?
Yeah, weird. I got a B+ in my class. Like, anyways, I never doubted that I would stop loving acting if I went to study it. That wasn't a fear of mine. And some of my friends that I spoke to throughout the year who were also studying acting or musical theater in other places were like, so how do you feel? Like, we're studying it now. There's homework, you know? It's not just what
Well,
you love.
Julian knows how you feel about homework.
Yes, I don't. No, I do it. I do my homework. I do my homework.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, it's a testament to how much I love it. That I can study it for a year intensively, have homework, have stuff attached to it that isn't just being on set and just the fun parts of it, and still be here a year later and be like, yeah, I can't wait to go back in the fall, But the movie aspect is what you're asking specifically. No, it doesn't even. They're so separate for me.
So you can watch a movie without dissecting it too much.
When I deem it to be like really good,
Yeah.
then I just enjoy it, And I feel like my barometer now is like the wider of a space you leave for me to dissect, then I will dissect. And maybe that's very harsh, but I don't try to be judgmental when I watch things. I'm a very easygoing audience member. I really enjoy everything I watch, but I'll get nitpicky if I have stuff to be nitpicky about.
Okay, so let's talk about some of your favorites.
It's a weird duo, and I always
you have two specific movies that are your favorites?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I always get weird looks, but The Dark Knight.
You got a fan over here.
Dark Knight is just like.
Not The Dark Knight Rises, or sorry.
I loved The Dark Knight Rises too. I mean, I liked all of them.
Dark Knight was the first one with was that when he was battling in China with Liam Neeson?
No, that was Begins.
Oh, that was Batman Begins. Okay, so The Dark Knight was.
Dark Knight was Heath Ledger.
Oh, right. Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay. That's
And then Toy Story.
Well, I'm supposed to go see Toy Story 4 tomorrow.
What day is it today?
Well, no, as a press screening. Sorry.
Because it's okay. I won't tell anyone.
And first Toy Story, second, third.
First Toy Story.
Okay. What did you? For me, number 3 was just like that was an adult film. That
it was like, I'm surprised I haven't gone to therapy yet.
Yeah.
In my life, like it was traumatizing.
Yeah. That was a crazy movie. That's why I'm the first couple I thought were good, but the third one was mind blowing for me.
How do you feel about a fourth one?
I was very excited. I only saw the third one once, and it always sticks with me, that scene on the conveyor belt with the fire.
That's what I think of.
Yeah, it was totally traumatizing, and so I'm very excited to see where they. I loved where they went with the third one. Mm-hmm. But to me, the commercials for the fourth one seem like it just seems a bit meh.
It sort of feels like you've beaten the game.
Right.
All the main story is done.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're just like swinging around.
So Emerald 97 says, I cried during the third because I was going through what Andy was going through.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would have done if I was that much older.
Yeah.
When I was, I think I was graduating elementary school or something, so I was making the leap into high school, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so old, but if I watched that, oh boy, a year ago, right before I left I watched Lady Bird right before I went to college. I saw it with my mom, and there's a scene there where she leaves her family and goes to college, and just water falls.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
and you watched it with your mom?
I watched it with my mom in theaters, and it's, I've always been really good at finding ways to make whatever I'm watching about myself. That's
a great quality. Except when you're acting, because it's supposed to be about the other person.
Yeah, right. But it's, I guess it's like the act of, well, no, that's not even empathy. You're right. Yeah, it's that's my favorite thing about movies, is like it's whatever you want it to be, kind of thing.
Well, you bring up empathy, and I think that, movies are supposed to be empathy machines, and I find maybe that's what? I think you just helped me hit the nail on the head for something personally, is that when a movie allows me to feel empathetic about the characters, then it's done its job. And if,
100%.
and if I go see a movie and I couldn't care less, then it didn't
Yeah.
do its job. And
that's-
blockbusters often do that.
Yeah, and like what my teacher will say to us is like, if you're not pursuing trying to affect your scene partner or whatever, you know, the audience won't care as much, and they won't know why they won't care as much. They just won't care as much.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, but when you care, you care. And I have a really good friend of mine in my program with me. We filmed a bunch of like short scenes this year, and we watched them at the end of the year. And she is so good at performing. I hate the word simply, but I'll use it just very simply. Mm-hmm. Almost sort of like a canvas. Not because she's not an incredible actor, she's a really great actor, but it's more so that like as an audience member, she lets you in, she lets you decide what's going on instead of her showing you, I'm sad now, I'm having a hard time, you know?
So do you take from that and apply it? Like, you know, when you see that kind of skill, are you like, oh yeah, I like this idea of canvas.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It's like, I have always sort of reclined a bit or you know, have been, repulsed is a bit of a strong word, but.
Recoiled, maybe.
Recoiled.
Yeah.
But you know, whenever I watch a movie and you know, an actor just starts yelling and it's like, look at me, I'm angry, I'm really angry at you. It's like, whoa. Like, I think I could have gotten that even if you didn't start yelling. You know, I think I could have gotten that in a million different ways. Yelling at someone isn't the only way to show to me as the audience that you're angry, you know?
Well, you know, I was going to ask you about favorite actors. And I'll start by saying that one of my current favorite actors, you know, of the younger crop,
Sure.
I would say is Tom Hardy. And I find that he is someone who can express so much with so little. So, I mean, look at Bane.
Love Tom Hardy.
Look at Mad Max. Or even, what's the movie where he's alone in a car for the entire movie? What is it? Locke. Yeah. Or even the one with James Gandolfini, the Drop, I think it was called. He is able to accomplish so much with very little, and I think that's, to me, that's the mark. That's what you're talking about, is that, you know, suggest without showing.
Yeah. I did an exercise this year where, like, we were walking around the space or whatever, and my teacher was like, okay, now be someone who is very insecure. And now be someone who's overconfident. And now, now you're a virgin. And now you are very rich. And now you have no money. And then after we spoke about it, or whatever, he was like, "You didn't really need to do anything that entire time except just walk around the space. You know, like you didn't need to puff out your chest, or you didn't need to mope around when you were doing this or whatever. It's like it's just sort of stuff that lives inside you, and all that matters is what happens."
We have a comment from the Emerald. Who is the Emerald 97? Do we know? Is this a friend of yours?
I don't.
Really?
Possible.
Awesome. So the Emerald 97 says, in Drama Club, and notice I said drama, because I know that a lot of our viewers are American, but if I was to say it, I would say in Drama Club, we did tons of games and little scenarios to help us get better at the empathy side of acting. What's some of the favorite games or scenarios that you did that helped you learn? Good question.
It's a really good question. I mean, it was something, especially this year, that was really just like ingrained in us. It was like, you know, we would be running a scene, you know, that we had to prepare for class or whatever, and we'd deliver a line, and our teacher would just say, no, like, make it about the other person. Okay. You need to, like, it sounds so trivial, but like just listening is something that is so hard to do when you're acting, because, you know, there are so many things you're worried about. You're so tense, and what's the next line, and how am I looking, and whatever, but if you could just like zero in on what's happening in front of you, and then if you can force yourself to care about what's happening in front of you and not what you're feeling, then like action leads to behavior, and you don't need to coerce yourself into feeling anything.
But that's interesting because you said if you force yourself. But I think the idea, correct me if I'm wrong, is to not force yourself,
Yes.
but to just let that naturally
Yeah,
be.
and that's like what I'm, that's why I feel so lucky to be going to school for this, is because like it's being worked into my muscle memory.
Okay.
For my default to be, okay, like this doesn't matter. Like what's going on with you,
I like that.
Yeah.
So who are some of your favorite actors? Who do you think embodies what you think is great in acting?
I love Bryan Cranston. I just can't not say his name. He's like at the top of my list. Christian Bale. Steve Carell.
Oh yeah, interesting. Did you see what was the wrestling movie where he Foxcatcher?
I didn't watch Fox. My dad talks about it all the time, though.
Yeah, he is really. I love when comedic actors play serious roles.
Yeah.
Because like Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love. There was an amazing Will Ferrell movie called Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
Like I love that sense, and so Steve Carell. Well, I didn't see the recent one. What's the one about his son being?
Beautiful Boy.
Yeah, I've heard.
Heart-wrenching movie.
Yeah.
Really heart-wrenching movie. And Timothée Chalamet was great in it too. I love Timothée Chalamet and Lucas Hedges also. I sort of see them.
He's had quite the run, eh?
Yeah.
But I get the sense, what was it, 2 years ago he was in everything, and then I don't know if, you can't really plan ahead, but it's almost as if he smartly took a little bit of a break.
I saw him this fall in the Waverly Gallery on Broadway. And he's a great stage actor too. He went to a school in North Carolina called University of North Carolina School of the Arts that one of my best friends goes to, so they actually sort of know each other. Great stage actor. But yeah, just back to like Steve Carell, I think he is, if like watching television and movies is like homework, Steve Carell is one of the best and has been one of the best teachers for me.
Really?
It just
What did you learn from him?
he is so committed. He's so committed to all of the just terribly awkward and cringy bits in The Office. He's so committed, and if you watch the bloopers of The Office, which I do all the time, you'll notice that he's never the one to break. He's always in it, and then someone else will laugh and he'll be like, okay, it's funny, but he's never the one that breaks it, because he's so committed. And then you see it in his dramatic work too. He's just so good at committing to what he's doing.
You know what? I never thought of him in that sense before, but he's
Comedic acting is great training for dramatic acting.
Irvana says, Stranger Than Fiction, the only Will Ferrell movie I can stand. Irvana, we are very, very much in sync. Although, I mean, I have some favorite Will Ferrell moments as well, but I do absolutely love that movie. Jamie, I might suggest checking out some Stanley Tucci.
I do love Stanley Tucci.
Tucci.
I was almost going to attend his alma mater, which is SUNY Purchase, just a few miles outside of Manhattan. But I love Stanley Tucci. Great actor.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's roll a clip of another production you've been in. So this is Venus. Maybe I don't know. Oh, I think it's the trailer. So set up what this movie is about, or what the. But tell me what this is about. We'll see the trailer and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, Venus is about a son, a kid, looking for his birth father, his biological father, only to discover that his father is now a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here it is. This is the trailer for
Roll the
Venus.
Hey, kid! I've seen you following me around for the past couple of days.
You're Sid Gill?
Yeah?
You're my dad.
It's here again.
You dated my mom. Why did you guys break up?
That's complicated.
You're transgender?
Yeah.
The That is so cool. Are you still Indian?
By this age, you should be married. You should have a family.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Mom. I have a son. Surprise!
Ralph. What kind of bakwas name is that? I will call you Rajinder. His skin and bones. Look at him. Are you hungry?
Who's this?
I'm his father. Mother, but I'm working that part out.
You have a boyfriend?
That's even more complicated.
You got the best deal. You got to skip the dirty diaper phase, the potty training, the temper tantrums, blah, blah, blah. Skip straight ahead, prepackaged teenager. That's just so nice.
What about your parents, Ralph? Don't they want to meet us?
Where the heck have you been? You have a girlfriend? Are you crazy?
Picking up your kid? My girlfriend's. It's mine.
This kid is manipulating us.
I think we need to have a talk. I'm out of this world. How else can I explain how strange I feel on this planet?
Can I ask you something? How come you guys never go out?
You tell me you want to be a woman, then you get angry when I accept you as a woman. I only have one child. Tell me what you want.
I want you to accept me as I am now.
What are you, huh?
He's not my dad.
This is important.
I think she doesn't understand you. She has been in your shoes. She always spoke her mind. Sound familiar?
We can take care of each other. I don't want to lose you.
I must have landed here from Venus.
I always imagined Sid with a woman, not as a woman.
Gotta say, man, that looks really good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was my first feature.
Yeah.
It was a dream come true. It was awesome. I had the time of my life working on it.
And that doesn't look like just any feature. I mean, you know, like there's that scene where you're like, you're transgender. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that even that is, you know, it's a progressive movie. It obviously seems like a very funny movie, and you know, just the trailer does a good job. It actually makes me want to see it.
For sure. Yeah.
Did you learn anything? The actor who plays your dad, mom, dad, seems, you know, talk about committing to a role.
Yeah.
My impression is that was someone who really committed to the role as
extremely
well.
Committed. I mean, he had to sit in hair and makeup for, you know, 2 hours every morning, which, you know, with in the age of superhero movies and everything, doesn't sound like a crazy amount, you know. But for, you know, for like an indie film, and you know, he was super committed and really, really, really talented guy, really sweet guy too. And we were together like all the time, so he was a pleasure to work with. Yeah.
And what was it like to go and see yourself, not on the small screen and not on the stage, but on the big screen?
Yeah, it wasn't as weird as I thank you.
Yeah, Johnny Suh Montreal says that looks amazing. I agree.
No, it was really great to watch. I watched it for the first time in Montreal. It wasn't as weird as I thought it was going to be watching myself up there. Sure, you know, you're self-conscious and you're worried. It feels a lot like a live performance.
Really?
More than I thought it was going to, because, you know, I know what the next line is. I know what's happening next, and I'm just sort of sitting there with the audience, hoping that they laugh.
And did they laugh at all the right places? And
yeah, I mean, it went well. It went as well as I could have hoped. Honestly, it was great, and I got to watch it in London also. My first time ever in London. It happened to be there at the same time, so I got to go and I spoke on a panel. It was a very big like milestone for me, you know, and I'm very proud of myself and proud of the production and what it's done. I think it's going to France soon.
So we have the Emerald 97 who says, "Oof, this hits close to home. Being adopted, I wonder about who my birth parents are. I'm already impressed with skills. I can see the subtle things that show your character's nerves towards meeting their birth parent." Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a lot of subtlety in that movie that wasn't, you know, all the things that you're telling me that you're learning in class seem to have been applied right there.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that I've been fine at this, my whole life and this entire time that I've been doing it. But it's especially doing this project right before I went to school. It's a really cool reference point, and it's a really great thing to have to look back on, to see the work I do now versus Venus, essentially. I was happy with my performance. I think, again, the character of Ralph wasn't someone that was so foreign to me.
Yeah.
I was lucky to sort of just show up and have a lot of that.
That seems to be the part of the course with you.
He was a teenager, and well, I'm not anymore. That's so weird. But I was a teenager. I was 16 at the time. Ralph was 14 or 15 or whatever. So, I was right there with him, and I was just doing what I thought was good.
You mentioned speaking on a panel, and clearly you've got a lot of fans who are watching this. Well, how do you deal with do you get recognized? Is there like is there a bit of a star thing happening in your life, and do you like that, or do you want to be like, no, I'm a thespian?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I can leave my house without sunglasses and no. It's definitely not. I've never been stopped in the street. I do have. There's one story that I do like to tell. I was at the Siegel Center and I saw a production of Guys and Dolls, and a little kid who I guess was a fan of Game On, because it was YTV. It was for younger kids.
That's right. We didn't even talk about Game On, which was a pretty big show on YTV.
Yeah, and that was also one like my. I had done stuff before that, but that was I had done Assassin's Creed before that, but that was really my first big like live action thing. Anyways, this little kid came up to me and asked me to sign like his playbill of Guys and Dolls or whatever. And I don't know. I'll always remember that, no matter where this career takes me. It's how can you not be flattered? It's someone sees you doing something that is just so fun to you, and then asks you to sign. So I don't know. It's so weird to me, and it means a lot.
It's funny mentioning that because as a musician. In my life, I love talking to people. I mean, that's why I do an interview show. That's why I feel I have an ease of just, conversing with people. But if I am plying my trade, if I am doing my art, if I play a show and I come off stage and the rest of the band are off socializing with people, or there's people who really like the show or fans or whatever, I always find myself so uncomfortable afterwards, like having to make conversation and not knowing the people, and it's so unlike me to be uncomfortable with that thing. But there's that.
I mean, me too. I mean, I know I just told the story about how cute it was when it came up, whenever. But like, I agree with you. Generally, I have a really hard time. Like marketing myself, and like this is a lot of fun, and this kind of setting invites this kind of conversation. Obviously I'm not going to sit here and I don't really want to talk about any of this. This is why I'm here, so I'm happy to do it. But for the most part, my parents bring up Venus or whatever at a dinner, and I'm like, like there are other things to talk about.
Well, what do your parents think about? Are they supportive?
They're so supportive. Yeah. They're they have been with me every step of the way, and I definitely wouldn't be doing this without them. I mean, like literally, like I can't afford college in New York,
exactly.
So I'm super lucky, and all my friends and grandparents, interesting order.
Friends and
grandparents.
It sounds like the beginning of a speech.
Yeah.
At a bar mitzvah, right?
Grandparents.
Hello, friends and grandparents, bubbies
distant
and
relatives. Yeah.
I would like, I wasn't sure if we were going to go here because of I was like, but he's just a kid. There's a game that we like to play on the show. It's called Tagline Trivia.
Sure.
I will name the tagline of a film, and you have to tell me what movie you think it is.
Okay.
And we can go through different decades. I think we'll stick with the 2000s for you.
I was gonna say 2000s are probably safer.
All right, let's try it. We didn't do it last time.
I might be really bad.
Okay, well,
I might be like really bad.
Really bad. Okay, well let's try the 2000s and see. I'll try and find some. By the way, I thought of a great new game. By the way, I think what we're going to try and do is I'm going to find songs that are in soundtracks to movies, and I'm going to play you the song, and you have to tell me what movie that's from. And we'll start with easy ones like "My Heart Will Go On," and as it gets more and more difficult.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. But that's for next time you come on.
Sure.
How about let's go to like later 2000s.
Ooh, all right.
Okay. Okay, an epic of epicness. And I'll give you some hints.
Okay.
George Michael from Arrested Development.
An epic of epicness.
Yeah. So you know which actor I'm referring to?
Yeah, I feel so bad passing on the first one.
That's okay. I'll give you other. It was based on a comic book. It had a lot of great music in it, and it's someone.
Based on a comic book?
Yeah, isn't it? It's based on a comic book, right? It's someone versus the world.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, you might get this one.
Okay.
From the same year, 2010. You don't
Good
get
year.
to 500 million friends without making a few enemies.
Social Network.
Yes. Okay. We're doing good so far.
Ding ding.
All right. Let me see what we got here. Oh, okay. We were at the end of 2010, so it doesn't go past 2010. Here we go. Can sex friends stay best friends?
So it's either No Strings Attached.
You got it. Hey, you're doing great.
That's my first guess.
Okay.
What was the other one?
There was another one.
Friends with Benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them has Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, and one of them or Justin Timberlake. They're the same movie. They're the same movie.
All right. When you can live forever, what do you live for? This was a huge blockbuster franchise that spawned many, many sequels, launched the career of many, many, many. It's based on YA book, one of the most loved books by teenagers and young horny girls who love werewolves and vampires.
Twilight.
Thank you. All right.
That was a giveaway.
Oh,
that was a
it.
lollipop.
Okay.
You gave it to me.
Right. Now we're getting a little bit far back.
Okay.
See our family and feel better about yours.
Meet the Fockers?
No, but okay. I mean, 2007 animated movie.
Meet the Robinsons?
No. Animated movie based on the longest running television series of all time.
So based on The Simpsons?
Yes, it's the Simpsons movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. This Christmas, this Christmas, heal the love.
So that sounds like a dog pun.
Yes, yes.
I'm on like Air Bud or something.
Marley and Me.
Oh, it's a sad movie.
Which is apparently a sad movie. Yeah, exactly. I never saw
start
it.
crying.
Yeah. Okay. No, we won't go that way. All right. You want to do how many more? A couple more? You feeling good?
Many as many as you want.
Let me find. Well, okay. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. You named we've already talked about the star of this film as one of your favorite actors.
Christian, Brian, Steve Carell.
First movie. Isn't it? No. It was not his first movie?
The longer 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like his big break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll find one more.
Anchorman was before 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Wasn't?
Was it? Yeah. I don't think so.
Both great movies.
Urbana says Marley and Me equals the new Old Yeller. Basically, from what I understand, yes, that's absolutely true. You did really well on tagline trivia, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
Let's go back a little. You said you were born in '99?
I was born in '99.
I'm going to see if I can find a '99 movie that you might get. All right.
Anchorman was 2004, 40-Year-Old Virgin 2005.
Oh,
Wow.
there you go. Okay.
You got us.
Okay, so a 1999 movie. Let's see.
This isn't gonna
One of my favorite movies of all time came out that year. Work Sucks. Has anybody seen my stapler? This is probably before your time. Damn it!
What was it?
How about, okay, well, it was Office Space.
Oh.
All right. No, we're not gonna do 99 because no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No. You did really, really well. Urbana killing these. Oh, Urbana was killing them? Urbana's like, okay, I really want to meet you. Do we know where Urbana's from? Vermont?
It's a short drive.
Dude, come on up.
Bring some maple syrup.
Yes, listen, Urbana, I would love for you, get in touch with us, come up and be a guest. I think you would be a great guest. Okay, so wait a minute. Let's talk movie news.
Awesome.
There's some movie news
Yay.
out there. What do you think about Bieber issuing a challenge to Tom Cruise for a cage match?
I'm really glad you asked me, Eric. I've been thinking about this all day.
Me too, because I hate Tom Cruise and Bieber.
What?
So
I don't know. Why is it happening?
why? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Does anybody out there?
I will tell you this.
Okay.
Yes, so I've been, full disclosure, I've been interning here at Beanduck.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
And yesterday, Julian and Ben ran out for quite some time, and I was left alone in the office, and I saw the tweet, and I went down a wormhole that I am not proud of.
Tell us about the wormhole.
I watched 2 hours worth of Justin Bieber videos, music videos, interviews. That's it.
What? Because
It wasn't good though.
Okay, are you a fan of Justin Bieber?
You know what? I'm not a fan.
Okay.
So political
Yes,
of me.
very, very, very.
He's a good performer. You know,
Oh, for sure.
He's a really great performer.
Great
and
drummer, by the way.
Good drummer.
Well, okay, maybe good drummer, not great drummer. But
You know.
decent drummer. He could drum.
He has a nice voice.
Yeah. What's happening though these days? Isn't he like? Okay, on to the next.
Yeah.
Tarantino.
Yes, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
Looks amazing.
It looks very good.
So excited. Brad Pitt's been, he sort of took a break for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't really see him in that much, and now he has this, and then Ad Astra is coming out.
What's Ad Astra?
I don't know, I've seen trailers for it. It's
Okay.
another movie he's in. It's like a space action adventure.
Brad Pitt in space?
Yeah.
Well, sure, I'll see it. Okay, so Tarantino has gone on record to say what his favorite Marvel movie is. Can you guess what his favorite Marvel movie is, and what's your favorite Marvel movie? And what's your favorite Tarantino movie?
So Tarantino's favorite Marvel movie. What are we considering Marvel?
MCU.
So not Deadpool. Deadpool doesn't count.
The answer is not Deadpool, but that would have been a good answer.
Well, it's the goriest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take a shot in the dark. Maybe he likes The Winter Soldier.
No. Well, I mean, he might, but I'll give you a hint. Very colorful.
Very colorful. Ragnarok?
Yes. Yeah, he's gone on record to say that Ragnarok was
It's a really good movie.
I loved Ragnarok, and I think I've stated many times here that
Really
I think
good
that's
movie.
been my favorite MCU. Now, also in Tarantino news, so he's supposed to do a Star Trek movie.
Really?
Right? And there's
Good
a
for him.
script now, and the script proves that it's definitely an R-rated Star Trek movie.
Good for him.
Are you a Trekkie?
I'm not a Trekkie.
Okay, but you like Star Trek.
I do like Star Trek. Yeah, I'm not gonna overstep my boundary. I like Star Trek. I worked with Theodore Bickel once.
Who's Theodore Bickel?
Theodore Bickel was on Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
I think he might have been on a few episodes of one of the original Star Treks also, though. I don't know. That's my relationship with Star Trek. But my favorite Tarantino film, I love Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
I love Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was like 13, which maybe I shouldn't have. And then I watched it again just a few months ago, and it just...
That opening scene, the milk, oh my God, Christopher Waltz is just so spectacular.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And just like, I mean, it's, you sort of take it for granted when you're watching it, but like just how effortlessly he flows between the languages, and he like talk about, doing your homework.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, so after that what came after that? Was it, what was the movie with DiCaprio? What was it? Django was pretty good. And then, was it The Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight. I never saw The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, me neither.
I never saw it.
I kind of lost interest a little bit, but I'm definitely excited about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It looks deceivingly light.
Yes, it does.
You know?
But Tarantino, listen, my favorite Tarantino is not even a movie that he directed. It's a movie that he wrote. Anybody guess? Which one? Nope. True Romance. I find, have you ever seen True Romance?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. That is, as a student of films, that's a fantastic movie, and I think it works so well because he wrote the script, but he didn't direct.
Interesting.
Often I feel the problem with Tarantino movies is that you can see the dialogue above the characters' heads, that they're sticking too close to what is cool about that dialogue.
Got it.
And and I guess that's in his direction because when he writes, it's gold.
Yeah.
What's your favorite MCU movie?
That's a good question. I mean, the first Avengers was so important to me.
Oh yeah? How so?
It was just like, the first movie that I remember seeing was Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
That's the first movie ever that you went to see?
I remember seeing. I mean, I was...
4.
I was 3 years old.
3? Oh my God.
3 years old. And I don't know what drew me to it. It's not like I was a big fan of the comics, as a toddler.
Well, listen, my son is 4, and he is I read him the origin story of Spider-Man, and he's fascinated. So there is something.
You know what? I think I was actually somehow watching the animated series before the movie came out. So I was just Spider-Man fascinated me. So and then Tobey Maguire, and I loved all those movies. I honestly didn't even mind the Andrew Garfield ones. I was just happy to be watching a Spider-Man movie. Maybe some people would take issue with that, but whatever. I think they have nailed it with Tom Holland.
Who is your doppelganger?
I mean, I'm not sure if he's my dog. I like to think we're in the same ballpark. Is what I can't lie to you and say that I'm not jealous of him, but it's tough because I would love to play that role. It's a dream role of mine, but at the same time, as a fan of the series, I'm getting exactly what I want. So it's good for Tom Holland.
Did you see no? What was it called?
Homecoming.
No, what was the animated one?
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Oh, buddy,
right?
Buddy, it was
the coolest fucking movie I've ever seen.
And it was one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
We were talking about it the other day, weren't we? I think it was John who said he hadn't seen an animated movie in so long that pushed the envelope of animation and what animation could be, just in theory, we're going to take a comic character and make an animated movie, and we're going to have it look like a comic book also. It's really easy to roll your eyes at that and be like, okay, let's see what that looks like. But they nailed it.
Yeah.
It's coming to Netflix in a few weeks.
Oh, is it?
And I'm going to watch it until I die.
I actually just read that, I was checking movie news before. There's a super Marvel fan who just watched Endgame over 110 times.
I saw it. I saw it twice.
Yeah.
And that's 6 hours.
What's the movie you've seen the most in your life?
Oh. Maybe The Dark Knight.
Okay.
It's a long movie, so I don't know why.
Okay, we're going to do this rapid fire.
Yeah.
What's the one role you would die to play?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Or the Boy Wonder, Robin.
Okay.
I'll take either.
Nice. I could see you doing that. All right. Biggest disappointment as far as movies? A movie that you were most excited to see that really let you down?
Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, yeah. That was a bit of a...
And Justice League. I even had hope for Justice League.
Yeah?
After Batman, I was hopeful.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I know everybody shits on the Joker in what's his name, Jared Leto's Joker.
Suicide Squad.
I didn't hate. Oh yeah, that was Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I didn't hate his Joker.
Me neither.
I thought it could have been. They could develop that if they turn that into its own movie. I'm in.
I'm really excited for Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes. Well, that was going to be my next question because
Okay.
you mentioned what was it that we were talking about? Oh, we were talking about the Dark Heath Ledger. And so I mean, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger. Forget Jared Leto because but DC live action kind of sucks, says Irvana. But DC's animation game is on point.
Completely agree with you. I was watching. I didn't get through all of it, but I was watching. I think it was called like Bad Blood the other night. It's a Batman animated feature film, and just like.
Does it have Mark Hamill as the Joker?
No.
Okay.
And I don't think it has Kevin Conroy as Batman either, which is always disappointing. You know, it's sort of like the one you expect, and then when it's not, you're like, But animated DC is, honestly, I think animated DC stuff is even better than the best MCU stuff. It's a moving comic book, you know, and it's so fun to watch. I love MCU though, so. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's going to do an amazing job. He's an incredible actor. It looks like tonally like they're really going to nail it. My only issue with it is like the Joker is meant to be a bit ambiguous in terms of backstory. So for a movie to come out and be like,
this is his backstory. Yeah, that's true.
It's not like it's going to be Bible. It's not like everyone's going to be like, yep, this is it now. This is how the Joker was born. But still, it's like, that's what feeds into his mystery. And
well, I'm interested to see how Todd Phillips is going to approach it. And the strange thing is, you know, what the way when I think of Toy Story 3, I just envisioned the fire and the not the treadmill, but the
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt. When I think of the Joker, having not seen it, but just the trailer is his weird body shape.
Yeah.
Like there is something so creepy about this Joker that I think I hope they're going to nail it.
Yeah, he looks like unhealthily thin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of unhealthily thin, and you mentioned Christian Bale.
Yes.
That is.
Yes.
How do you feel about when actors go to that extreme?
It's interesting. Like a funny story I heard once is David Hasselhoff was doing a movie with Laurence Olivier, and
it sounds like a joke.
And it does sound like the setup.
They walk into David Hasselhoff and Laurence Olivier walk into a bar.
But David Hasselhoff had a scene with Laurence Olivier where he hadn't slept in 3 days or something, and he like shows up to film that day, and he's like, "Hey, Laurence, I haven't slept in 3 days, you know, because I'm ready for the scene." And Laurence Olivier was like, "Have you heard of acting?" So I know it's different when it comes to like the physicality of the character.
Yeah.
Which is so important, you know, because you know the way you move affects the way you feel and whatever. So, I don't think it's necessary. I think what was it that just came out? The Winston Churchill with Gary Oldman, The Darkest Hour. Mm-hmm. That was all prosthetic. You know, I watched an interview with him. He said, you know, I'm an older guy. I don't think that would be good for my health to gain all that weight, you know. Mm-hmm. So I just couldn't do it. So I worked with prosthetics, and he sat in the chair for 4 or 5 hours, you know, to nail it. Oof. Which is, you know, a big commitment. But he did it, and it looked perfect. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that works in the other direction as much.
That's true. CGI, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. But I guess it's always nice to see that an actor is willing to go that extra mile. I don't know.
So speaking of all things creepy, I think we're getting, what time is it, guys? Are we...
I could talk for...
5 minutes?
Hours.
Oh my God. All right. I queued up a trailer. I asked you if you like scary movies, and you said you're starting
I watched It Follows the other night without any sound. Uh-huh. I watched it without any sound because I couldn't do it with sound. I also watched it with my computer turned away from me. I didn't watch it.
So I have queued up a new trailer for a movie called Midsummer, which is.
I've seen the poster.
You've seen the poster.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Are you prepared to watch it, or?
I might. You could play it.
Yeah.
I might not watch it.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Do we want to do this, guys? I've seen the trailer. It's not. It's maybe a bit scary, but it's not too gory. So this is the same director that did. Why am I drawing a blank here? Hereditary. Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
My girlfriend saw Hereditary, and she said it was scary, and it takes a lot to scare her.
So it's Ari Aster. This is about people who go on like a road trip to Sweden and get caught up in some cult.
Bad idea.
Let's.
You know what they say about road trips to Sweden.
Let's have a look at that, and then we'll come back and we'll say our goodbyes, and we'll see if you're properly freaked out or not. Here is Midsummer, the trailer.
Are we doing picture-in-picture? I just want to know in case I'm gonna ugly cry. Okay.
Yeah, you can get up and leave if you need
Okay.
to. All right,
Cool.
let's do it.
I told you that I want to go to that festival in Sweden.
No, you said it would be cool to go.
Yeah, and then I got the opportunity and I decided
Look,
to
I don't
do
mind
it.
you going. I just wish you would have told me. That's all.
Dude, she needs a therapist. You've been wanting out of this stupid relationship for like a year now.
And don't forget about all of the beautiful Swedish women you'll meet in June.
Okay, guys.
That's not her again. Seriously?
Babe, what's happening? Danny.
I was so very sorry to hear about what happened.
I'm sorry.
I invited Danny to come to Sweden. You know what she's been going through.
Christian says you've got this special week planned.
It's sort of a crazy festival. Special ceremonies and dressing up.
That sounds fun.
Unbelievable.
Welcome and happy Midsummer. Skål!
What time is it?
9 p.m.
That can't be right. The sky is blue.
This is what 9 p.m. is like here.
How long have you two been together?
Just over 3.5 years.
4 years.
Really?
Yeah?
What do you think?
It's like another world.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Is it scary?
What is it?
It has special properties.
What am I going through?
We just need to acclimate.
I don't want to acclimate, I want to go.
Absolutely not.
What's happening?
I don't know why you invited us.
That's why you look so guilty right now, because you know.
We only do this every 90 years. I was most excited for you to come.
So, are we back on? So you were okay for most of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how you define okay. It's fine. I mean, I'm sure I'd make it through that movie. It seems to be a big thing in horror lately, though, from what I could see, just like sort of like mob stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like group horror.
Well, that actually, while I was watching it, it reminded me a bit of The Beach. I don't know if that was probably before your time. What do you guys think? You've seen The
Never
Beach, right?
watched Human Centipede.
DiCaprio as well. There was.
Noted. I will never watch that movie. You couldn't pay me.
Yes.
Any amount of money.
The Emerald 97 says, a little advice to Jamie, never watch The Human Centipede. I have not seen it.
Unless I don't want to eat again or something.
Right. I mean, I love it as a funny joke.
Yeah.
But I would never. Have any of you guys seen it? Yeah, we saw it together. They saw it together. That's, yeah, no, I don't think.
Never.
Right.
Never.
So, in terms of styles, so I know where you stand on horror. Do you prefer drama or comedy? What's your take on reality TV?
You know what's so weird is I was like running through questions in my head that you might have asked me today, and I didn't think we were gonna get to this, but I love reality TV.
Yeah? As an actor, you're not mad that they're taking all your roles or all your opportunities?
No, it's fine. Like let the kids dance and let the moms be dance moms, and it's I just enjoy watching it. It's I know there are a lot of people that like work hard to produce it and everything, you know, but it's sort of mindless, you know. You could put it on and just enjoy it and have it in the background. I really like Dance Moms.
Really?
Yeah, my girlfriend introduced it to me earlier this year, and I went through a bit of a phase.
Well, I was surprised to learn. I didn't know that. What's her name? Maddie Ziegler? Is that?
Yeah.
She was
Sia.
on Dance Moms.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. She was like the focal point of Dance Moms.
Really?
And then Sia was really interested in.
So that was before she started doing stuff with Sia.
Yes.
Oh God! Did you ever see Jim Carrey doing Sia and Maddie on Saturday Night Live?
No.
Okay, we're gonna end on that. I want you all to Google Jim Carrey, Sia, Maddie Ziegler. You will laugh your ass off. And that will bring us to close. I hope I didn't this has been so much fun, and I hope that the horror movie didn't kind of put a downer on you.
No, it's fine. I've been getting so much better at just leaving it behind me.
Oh my God, it was a bit traumatic. I'm so sorry, man.
No, not at all. I watched The Orphan when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't leave me for months.
Okay.
So I'm getting baby
You're getting
steps.
better, but I shouldn't have put you through that. I apologize.
It's
to
okay.
You and you
It's
and
okay.
you.
It's fine.
But honestly,
forgive
this
you.
has been tremendous. I'm going to watch Venus. I'm going to go back and watch more LARPs. And where can people find you? Where can they follow you? Where can they see what you're up to?
Just, you know, Instagram, Twitter. I think my handle is like under my big head on the picture
You
thing.
can tell us again. What is it?
Yeah, it's Jamie Mayers 25.
Were there 24 other Jamie Mayers?
25 is my birthday.
Oh,
February
gotcha. Okay.
25th. Send me presents. Yeah, I mean, you know, Facebook, whatever. I'll make sure that whatever I'm doing next is known.
What are you doing next? Are you allowed to talk about it?
No, I mean, really, it's focusing on school right now.
Okay.
Which I'm honestly, you know, like, I'm just as excited about that as I've been for anything I've been hired to do. You know, it's such a great opportunity to be in a city that I've loved my whole life, and to be with such talented people, and to learn and to grow and whatever. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm always auditioning for things, but I'm really happy to be studying and learning and growing.
Awesome. Listen, a real pleasure, man.
Thank you so much.
You seem like a fine young gentleman.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
No, but honestly, and the cool thing is, I don't know if this is cool, if it's cooler for me or for you, but I feel that you know, despite our 20-year age difference, we're able to connect and discuss and not feel like we're from different generations.
Yeah, no, that's the nicest thing you could say to me. You
Well,
know?
it's
I
absolutely
appreciate
true.
it.
Pleasure,
Thank you
man.
so much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for tuning in. Oh, the Emerald 97 says, sounds like we need to have a LARPs marathon for our host.
Potentially.
Yeah, big time. Because I haven't seen enough LARPs. I've seen bits and pieces, but you know, seeing as how I'm like in the Bean Duck family, I think that's my homework. Is it not? There you go. Tune in tomorrow, Cosplay Cave. Who do we have? People. We have people. Audrey Cosplay. Tune in for that. Check out Jamie on all his socials, and we'll be back. Oh, next week we have Rosan, right? Who's our guest again?
It's not confirmed.
Oh, it's not confirmed. We're going to have a pretty cool guest next week, probably. If not,
I'll come back.
Yeah, and I'll watch LARPs. You could just watch me watching LARPs. Hey, that's a great idea for our next episode. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on the flip side.